Henry Gross on how your life can change on a dime. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Street Music. As I've mentioned before in this series, Henry Gross is easily one of my favorite interviews that I did in 2018. The guy is funny, he has a real appreciation for the history of music and the history of comedy, and he gives me a different perspective, which is really important. In this clip, we talked about how fast things can change in one's life.
Now we're getting deep. There's a special, and go figure out why the greatest HBO special for baby boomers from New York is not available, except to go to iOffer and order one. And it's called The Ghosts of Flatbush. And it's about the Dodgers. And nobody can have a rational discussion with a person from Brooklyn from the 1950s without understanding what happened there with this guy who, Zeus. Zeus's real name was Robert Moses. And, you know, Robert Moses wouldn't let the Dodgers rebuild and have a stadium in Brooklyn at Atlantic and Flatbush. And so the Dodgers, so O'Malley got this great offer and went to Los Angeles, as anybody with a human brain would have, even though we spent our lives hating O'Malley. It was really Robert Moses. Our anger was misdirected. But this, I'm not here to do a diatribe on this. I'm just to say that you can't understand that this was a life lesson. I end my show with this. I say, you know, when I say to people, thank you for your time, the greatest gift, at the end of my 90-minute one-hit wanderer show, and I say, you know, because I had talked about that baseball game my dad took me to, and how much it meant to me. And the fact is, the Dodgers, we learned when my father took me in July 14th, 1957, and 3 months later, the Dodgers were gone. And we all learned a valuable life lesson, and that is that the thing you love the most can be taken from you like that. Turns on a dime. Life turns on a dime. That you put your faith in anything. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to add, this is not an advert for cynicism, but you put your faith in anything in this world that you depend on, and that elevator can fall. That love, your wife can run away with the milkman. You know, your dog dies. Your cat passes away. These things happen in life. You know, my first wife, 43 years old, died of lung cancer. This was, Kathy. I mean, we were, you know, she was Shannon was her dog. You know, when I met her, I was 2 years old. I mean, so these things happen in life. The Dodgers took everyone in Brooklyn who thought he was a big shot and gut punched us. Period. We all grew up that day. We lost a little glimmer in our eyes, and we realized that there were people out there. We realized in our little, look, we all got the living bejesus beat out of us for whatever reason by everyone. We gave as good as we got. I mean, I was in fights every day of the week. I mean, there was a lot of hatred. If you were a different religion, there was, you know, people hated black people hated white people. I was there. I waited online at the Brooklyn Fox, got my money taken away from me, about 10 people from the box office, you know, surrounded by tough guys. You know, look, we all suffered each other there. But we all felt something when the Dodgers left Brooklyn, because whether you were black, white, whatever you were, Chinese, anything, the Asian, whatever you were, the Dodgers had something for you. They had Gil Hodges. They had Jackie Robinson. They were the hope. They were a light. And when they dimmed that light and put it in Los Angeles, you know, no comment. It went and it, you know, it's how many thousands of years wise men come from the East. They don't come from the West. So, you know, the Dodgers belonged in Brooklyn. They still do. And that's the end of it. So we all grew up fast in a way we didn't necessarily want to grow up at age 6. So the Montreal Canadiens left the Forum and went across the street somewhere. They didn't go to Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different thing. You know, we had the hockey games. You had the greatest. Of course, you got the first pick of the French Canadian players, so it's not fair. But hey, life's not fair. Colleges have legacies. They have, you know, whatever. So you got.
But it's like that. But it's like that. You're right.
Yeah, it is. Who was the first? By the way, little trivia for you. Since Sean Arnaud's first manager, Ed Goodgold, and his friend Dan Karlinski started the trivia craze. Who was the first French-Canadian player not to play for the Montreal Canadiens.
Marcel Dion? I don't know.
Yeah, Rod Gilbert for the New York Rangers. But
Rod
anyway.
Gilbert, I remember. I was a big hockey. I played hockey for
Number 7. Yeah, I was a big hockey fan. These people with the alligator arms that can't get in their wallet. You know, when the check comes, they're sitting there like this, you know. Can't get down there. They can't get it in there, you know.
Yeah.
Perfectly timed restroom moment when the $300 check comes. You know, it's just a way of life, and it doesn't, you know. I wrote a song about it. I saw a man. What was it? I saw a man. Anyway, the song is called "The Night You Picked Up the Check." I can't remember the verse right now, but it went, "The night you picked up the check, atheists began to genuflect. The earth stood still, the sea was parted, love came to the broken-hearted, nature's balance seemed to be upset the night you picked up the check." It's a great song.
How long did it take you to come up with, like, for instance, what you just recited? Like, is writing lyrics easy for you?
Nothing's easy, but I find that I used to struggle when I was a kid to come up with an idea for a song, and now I have too many ideas for songs that come to me, and I write them down, and I think ideas come easy, and then it's the work of writing the songs. And sometimes I'll write a song and I don't know where it comes from at all, and I just write something that just comes out of me. And you know, been high enough to see over the mountain, been high enough to fly above the rain, been down so low, stole pennies from the fountain, been high enough to toss them back again. The opening song from One Hit Wonder, you know. Everybody's telling me I'm guilty of a felony. I took somebody's melody and put it in my song. I admit I'm lazy and my memory might be hazy, but I'd never be so crazy because I still know right from wrong. Been high enough. Every day my honey says my jokes are not so funny and I better earn some money if I want to get her love. Though I know what I'm missing. I'm a man on a mission, got a strong inner vision, and I thank the stars above. Been high enough to see over the mountain, high enough to fly above the rain. Been down so low, stole pennies from the fountain, been high enough to toss them back again. Ain't that it? Isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we're talking about.
That's quite beautiful.
Thank you. High Enough from the One Hit Wanderer CD, available at henrygross.com. Hey, but you know, the point is, you know, I open my shows with it a lot, and people right away go, oh, okay, we're doing this tonight. It's not going to be, we're not going to sing, oh, ooh, 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 baby. You know, we're not doing that tonight. There's other nights for that, and you know, there's great nights in the disco, but not that night.
How did your parents react to, and were you equipped for the mid-'70s when all that happened? Were you ready? I know you had done stuff before. I know you'd play guitar with, well, I know the Jim Croce thing and the Sha Na Na thing, and
yeah, it was. But wait, you know, I just thought of the thing. By the way, let me just.
No, go ahead.
I saw a man eating fire, another one walking the high wire. I saw an honest politician, some dude with X-ray vision. But the most amazing thing I'd ever seen, even better than that centerfold in Playboy magazine, was the night you picked up the check. Atheists began to genuflect. You know, and to tell you about this, I put this record out, and there was a show, right? I just want to tell you this. There was a show on the big station in Chicago, the biggest talk radio station in Chicago. I can't remember the call letters. And there were these Steve and Johnny Putnam. I had the biggest talk radio show in America between midnight and 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. And they weren't allowed to play music. They didn't have a music license. They could only play like 30 seconds of a song, or else they had to pay a lot of money to ASCAP or BMI. So they fell in love with this song, and they said, you know, dash it, I'm going to play it. And they played the song, and I sold about 40 CDs from one spin in the middle of the night on a talk radio a talk radio show of the night you picked up the check, from all over America, because they had a very powerful signal. So I'm just saying, the fact is, music that, you know, we all suffer because people, you know, this thing happened where, and I disagree with it. I mean, for instance, I am the biggest Paul McCartney fan, so for me, there's never been a bad McCartney record. But because there's always something interesting about it. If it's not the lyric, if it's not there's always something in that music and that production and that's remarkable. So, but I find that, you know, people will say, well, You know, we can't sell Paul McCartney records and Rolling Stones records. What the heck are we going to do with yours? Who wants to hear yours? Well, the fact is, some people keep playing the songs they did when they were 15 years old or 25 years old the rest of their lives, and they do oldies shows, and that's all fine. People like nostalgia. They, you know, generally speaking, if you want to torture your audience, here's a new one I just wrote. But I've gotten my little thing, which is just a little thing. Most people don't. My whole existence. But the people that come to see me, they have the new stuff and they know all the words to the new songs because they're not difficult to digest. You know, they're not singer-songwriter, you know, stuff that's trying to be on country radio or trying to be on the next, who knows, we're not going to name people's record, but we know, you know, we're not trying to write like Max Martin. You know, we don't want to write the next Max Martin song. So, you know, we're not trying to, oh, Dr. Luke. You know, they're great. They have their thing. They write 40% of 100% of radio, whatever it is. God bless them.
A lot.
You know, it's fine. It's you know, it's the destruction of creative thought for the masses. But what can you do? You know, it wasn't my idea. You know, I don't own all the banks.
We'll have more of our interview with Henry Gross coming up next week. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, share our videos, and comment on them as well. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music.